Giants GM Joe Schoen and head coach Brian Daboll looked like they had themselves a good old time at the Rangers game Tuesday night after not making any moves ahead of the trade deadline. So let's bring in New York Post Giants beat writer Paul Schwartz, and we're going to talk #TogetherBlue and deal or no deal. Because, Paul, you know what? I hate to say it, but you were right. You said that the Giants weren't going to make any trades or any moves ahead of the trade deadline. The deadline's over. Do you think that was the best decision?
Well, first of all, why do you hate to say that I was right? Come on. I mean, we got a relationship here. I can be right sometimes. I know you wanted them to make deals.
Yeah.
Every fan wants them to make deals. Everybody, it's not exciting to go through a trading deadline and not make any deals. I just didn't feel it with this team this year. I think what it says is that ownership and certainly Joe Schoen, and Brian Daboll, the head coach, they looked at this team and they said, we're 6-2, but we don't think we're a Super Bowl team. We don't think we have to go for it now. What is it the best decision for the Giants? Look, I wasn't against the trade. I mean, if you told me they would bring Chase Claypool in here for a third-round pick, I would have said that's a good deal. I don't think Joe Schoen was interested in trading a second-round pick. That's what the Bears did to get Claypool. Does Chase Claypool make them a better team? Yes. Does he take them places maybe they can't go in the second half of the season without him? I'm not so sure about that, but yes, it is frustrating to watch these receivers every week knowing that they're limited. But you know what? Schoen was interested in getting an inside linebacker. He was interested in getting depth for the defensive line. He just wasn't really willing to trade a lot of draft capital for that, thus no deal.
I know we always hear that cliche term in sports, trust the process, trust the process. So what does this say about Joe Schoen's vision for the Giants going in the future?
Well, look, if they were sitting here at 2-6, it would be a little bit harder to trust the process, right?
Yeah.
At 6-2, I think you have to trust pretty much everything these guys are doing. Look, they traded away Kadarius Toney, right? So it's kind of not right to say they didn't do anything at the trade deadline. Well, the week before, they traded away a former first-round draft pick to get a third and a fifth-round pick, a third and a sixth-round pick. So they did something at the trade deadline. It was just a week earlier. Now, that was that addition by subtraction? Maybe. Does it help them this year? No, it does not, because those draft picks don't play this year. I think what it says is that Joe Schoen is comfortable in where he is in rebuilding this team, and he did not let this 6-2 record, which he is thrilled about. He's not rooting for them to lose. He is thrilled about this, but he's not looking at that 6-2 record and saying, you know what, we're a lot better than I thought we were. We're a lot further along than I thought we were, and we're going to have to go for it. He said something interesting. He said, you have to step back and take an honest evaluation of the roster. And he mentioned, look, we're 6-2 and that's great, but you have to look at how we got here. And he mentioned that they were down 17-3 in a game like they were in London to the Packers. So he doesn't look at this and say, we're 6-2, we got it rolling. He's saying we're 6-2. I'm thrilled at that. We've won a lot of close games, but this roster needs a lot of work, and I'm not going to, mortgage anything now. We're going to push forward to the future.
All right. So since he's not going to do it via trade, are there still some free agents out there that could help this team for the now? And of course, Odell Beckham Jr.'s name was mentioned. So what are your thoughts on that and a possible OBJ reunion now that we're in November?
Well, look, I mean, they're not afraid to bring guys in. Schoen had an interesting stat that they have had 12 players this year who have played snaps on offense or defense. We're not talking about guys who just come in on special teams. 12 players who've had snaps on offense or defense who were not with the team in training camp. Okay, so, this roster is a work in progress. Now, Joe Schoen did not bring up Odell Beckham Jr. He was asked about Odell Beckham Jr., as he rightfully should be. He's a free agent. They need receivers. When healthy, he's a great player. And Joe Schoen said, now you tell me what you think about this, Brandon. He said, he's a guy we would consider and talk to when he's healthy. He tore his ACL, his left ACL, for the second time in the Super Bowl, right? That was in early February. He's not ready to play. I think by the time he's ready to play, it will be either next season or much later this season. At that point, what are you going to do? You're going to bring in Odell Beckham for 2 games? I mean, that's not going to do anything. So I don't think it's going to work out. But I think it's good that Joe Schoen has an open mind, right? He brought Landon Collins back, right? Who's a guy who kind of didn't leave in great standing with the team. So he's got an open mind. Odell Beckham Jr. has been a great player. He probably will not be a great player any longer off 2 ACLs, but Why not, right? Why not? And you know, but look, just bringing up Odell Beckham Jr.'s name, Stokes Twitter, Stokes us, has us talking about it, you know, on a video. Rightly so. I mean, he's a magnetic guy, probably not a magnetic player anymore. Lord knows they need help at receiver. You know, never say never, right?
Yeah, never say never. And now that we've mentioned his name, we're going to get some extra retweets on this video. Paul, thanks for joining us.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.